Let's get a little bit of an update.
I'm just going to set it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, all right.
Now this is basically where it was. This is going to be a little bit further ahead, maybe that much.
Okay.
Those are the original mounts that he had up front.
Okay.
I just repositioned them on a new frame. We got the frame in Cincinnati. Basically, the front half or 2/3 of a new frame. And from here back, it's basically all Austin's original. The roll cage, we're gonna just redo the roll cage, not completely though. So that'll be original, and the body will be original. We're just trying to keep it as original as we possibly can.
The time I saw it, we were working back here and shortening up the frame, and Matt and Bruce have done a lot of work since then.
This engine was, we bought this engine.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And it's a 292.
Okay.
And it's supposed to have 25,000 miles. And it was a running engine 2 years ago. The other engine that we got with the car,
Right.
we're going to probably have the machine work done on that in case we ever go to South Carolina like Sammy
It
did
does, yeah.
and compete. If we have a blown motor, we're going to have another motor.
Yeah.
No, that's going to cover you for wrong. You're going to use that. I know it looks.
And he hasn't seen this yet, huh?
No.
No?
This is,
I'm just thinking of a car that's sat in the weeds for 40 years. There can't be anything left of it.
There ain't much, but
So you,
right, we'll get the frame and the roll cage and the motor, everything done there, and then we'll set the body back on and then finish the body off.
He kept saying how he looked at it before you guys took it, and he's like, "Oh, it's going to be a lot of work." And
What Denny's doing,
he felt bad how much work it was going to be, but he's been excited to come down and see what you guys have been doing. And
A lot of work there. Come on in and take a look.
Looks really good.
That's Bob, he's my son, and that's my girlfriend there for the last 40 years.
I think it's great because it's given him some things to look forward to
Has he talked about it at the home?
all the time.
Really?
All the time.
when you put the motor in, do you remember if it was in center of the frame or was it to the left? Was it moved over to the left a little bit?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Now the torque plate was aluminum, and that went right down between.
Right, that's on the cowl of the car still.
Yeah, and that the motor went in, then the flywheel went on, and the clutch and pressure plate, and then then the bell housing was on the back side of that plate. Yeah. When I trimmed off 4 inches off of this bell or the frame, I was sort of wondering what kind of alignment I'd have in the drive shaft, but that was no problem. Well, when I did it, it worked. So
Right.
whether it was right or wrong, I wondered how you were going to get this piece here out of the cowl.
Oh. Oh, we just split the cowl. Now on the body, what we're going to do is we'll cut this right through here. Right. This is the pattern for the back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is the door pattern.
Yep.
Side.
And you'll be
We'll just be putting new pieces on. From here up, we've got a lot of work to do.
Austin, why is the roof, why has it been cut in a couple of different directions here? What were you doing?
Well, this Oldsmobile was wider,
Okay.
and I had to narrow that up to fit on here. I thought it looked like a Willie's coupe. I mean, that's what I thought. And so I think it was cut right in half and a piece taken out. And this part up here was out of a Ford, 49 Ford.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you got a Ford matched with an Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
And from here to here, it was Ford.
I get it.
And then this, the cowl, from what we could tell by the body lines, the cowl and the doors were about a 37 Chevy.
37 or 38.
Chevy.
When I first started running the old flathead, I had a lot of friends. I got along with everybody. I didn't have to bang anybody, and I didn't get banged. They treated me pretty good, and I had to be a clean driver. And then I went back to State Line, and there was altogether different guys. The late model guys were the guys that I run with before, and I didn't have the best of luck.
This is the intake bracket that Austin made similar to this that he run the 3 deuces off from.
Yeah, that bolts right to the head. I remember the pipes that I come off, they had to come down a little bit
To come out under the intake.
Yeah, and that I did a lot of grinding on them exhaust ports to get them so that the exhaust pipes would fit. That's a nice looking piece. Oh, you covered up my signature from Skip.
Maybe we'll get Skip up there that night when it shows up and see
Give
if he
him a
wants to do
hand
it
and
again.
say, get busy. Bob, he would take cellophane and tape it to that windshield, and it had a string on each tape. And as soon as it got a little dirty, you reached up and got the first string and you jerked it. And you had a clean windshield.
I'll be darned. Yeah.
And that was his idea.
I transferred the mounts from your frame to this one. But your frame was rotten, and we weren't exactly sure where the mounts were supposed to be. So I thought the only way to find out would be to put the drivetrain together to get the right length in the drive shaft, and then everything could come to that.
Yep. Well, if that's the original drive shaft, you can't be too far off.
No. And now what we'll do is that this motor is sitting here on its own. You know, it's got a chain underneath the back of it to give it its levelness. Now we'll take all this off, and now we'll set the body here,
Yeah.
and we'll get the body where it was. And then once we do that, you know, then we can start welding things together and making them the way they were and right.
Where are you on your timeline?
Right about perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. Because we didn't plan on doing this, you know, an 8-hour day, you know, and we just planned on doing it a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And that's exactly what it started out as.
Getting there, day by day.
Has Dave been any help?
Well, he comes around.
I've been saying to this week about coming down to the...
Oh, he's been so excited to see it. He kept saying how he looked at it before you guys took it, and he's like, "Oh, it's going to be a lot of work." And he felt bad how much work it was going to be, but he's been excited to come down and see what you guys have been doing, and he's been talking about it all week.
You too? You curious?
Yeah, I've been excited. I wasn't around to see him race. You know, it was before my time, so it's been exciting to see the attention that he's got from it, and you know, getting to know a part of him that I never was able to before. So it's been fun. It's been exciting. I know it means a lot to him. And it means a lot to the family too.
It's right on schedule. I mean, we figured that it would be on a rolling chassis by this time. We just, now the work begins. Welding the roll cage up and you know, putting it in place and getting the body finished and making that look nice and fitting everything. That's